When you've reviewed and seen as many outdoor products as I have, you really take notice when something is a step above the rest. That's right, today is Holy Grail Day. If you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that I only review high quality products that I personally use and can recommend, even if there's a few cons along the way. A few months back, I showed you one of those Holy Grails, an EDC fixed blade from my friend Jonathan Deering of Deering Knives, and today I'm going to show you another product of that caliber. So here's the Explorer Puukko from Cohutta Knives. I've been eyeing his work on Instagram for quite some time. He makes several sizes of this knife, including the Pocket, the Hiker, and the Explorer, as well as several other models. And first of all, just look at it. Would you just look at it?
Oh, would you look at this?
Specs on the Explorer is an 1/8 inch A2 steel with a tapered tang, convex grind with a convex secondary, 8 1/4 overall length with a 3 3/4 inch blade, a knife size that I really like, the most usable knife style that I have in the collection of knives that I own. Great camp knife, great all-around bushcraft knife or outdoors knife. In this case, you got the convex grind there with the secondary, so very useful for all different tasks, from slicing to cutting to carving, and then some light baton work as well. Now, there isn't a whole lot of meat on the shoulders until you get up pretty high on this blade, so you wouldn't want to really go to town batoning, but with this size blade and the size wood that I usually baton, small wood that I use for wood stoves, this knife does a great job. You can see the blade is hammered up top here. You do have a sharp spine. He's carved his brand name there into the spine, which is really nice, and the handle on this thing is absolutely beautiful as well. There's no raised spots at all with the pins or with the lanyard hole here, all the way around to where the handle meets the tang. Everything is fully smooth. This knife even has 2 liners on it, so you've got a thin liner there and then a little bit of a thicker liner next to the blade there. And what you'll notice is that it has that tapered tang, where the tang actually gets thinner as it goes towards the back of the knife, and then you have to match the handle up with that as well. And even with all of that, there is no high spots at all. That's what you're getting with a high-end craftsman that does custom hand finishing or custom knife work. You're going to get no hot spots. You're going to get nothing that is uneven. You can look at where the handles meet here. Often they will be mismatched a little bit. They won't be sanded down exactly perfect on both sides. That's perfect on this knife. You flip it around, your grind is perfect on both sides, so both of your grinds on both sides of the knife meet back where the grind ends, and it's absolutely centered there. Again, you'll find that that's off on a lot of knives if you look at them. And then you can look at the actual tip of the knife. A lot of times one side will be ground a little bit higher or lower than the other side, and it won't come to a perfectly symmetrical tip there. So those are things that I'm really looking for and that I'm really picky when it comes to these high-end designers, is that they take the extra time to make sure that all of that stuff is symmetrical, that all of that stuff is balanced, and that their sanding and finish work is top-notch. And that's exactly what you get here with this knife. I've been using this knife quite a bit, from food prep to prepping for fires and scraping tinder, for example. All around, it's just a great size for me. It fits in my hand really well. The handle's really comfortable. Sort of a little bit thicker in the middle, but not too thick. You know, when you get really thick in the middle, you get those hot spots. This one, I don't feel like I have any hot spots. There's still a lot of meat here in the front that you don't get that hot spot when carving or when heavily using this knife. It works really well with or without gloves. When you get it wet here, I can take some of this snow and you can get the handle wet here. It even becomes more grippy, and you can see just that color just comes right out in the handle there. You know, I like unfinished handles or unpolished handles a lot better than I like the polished handles, because they are quite grippy. And even if this thing was completely wet, muddy, or maybe you're using it for animal you know, using it on an animal prep or processing, it's not going to slip even if you get blood all over it. So really, really nice knife. It's really well balanced. It's just really, it feels really good in the hand, and I've really enjoyed using it. I'm so happy that I was able to finally add one of these to sort of the collection of Holy Grail knives that I have. It seems to work really well. The company is awesome. Russell, who owns it, is a really nice guy. Again, you can reach out to him on Instagram, and he can make, you know, any of his models pretty much any way you want when it comes to the combination of liners and handle material. He can probably get it and give you a fair price at that. So love using it, and happy to own it. So there's a few more blades on my Holy Grail list, and hopefully I'll be able to show those off to you this coming year. As I mentioned earlier, all the gear that I show on my channel is gear that I personally research, use, and can fully recommend. Gear with outstanding craftsmanship, materials, and overall quality. So go get yourself a Cohutta knife. They're available in small batches as he makes them, and they go fast, so make sure you follow along on Instagram. Link below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.